Hi, this is going to be my first cooking video. I have about 12 minutes, so we're going to try to make chili in 12 minutes. Anyhow, I have my laptop, but I can't figure out how to get it to record, so I'm using a tablet right now, so it's a little unstable and kind of foggy. I'll try to keep myself in the shot except for when I show you what I'm going to be using. So, we've got some peppers, jalapenos, scapes, garlic, some fresh oregano from the garden, and then we've got organic Great Northern white beans, dark kidney beans, black beans, and diced tomatoes. This is the easy way. Fast, nutritious, but it's for when you're in a hurry and you're hungry and you have a family to feed. I am choosing to season it with red pepper flakes, some cumin, cayenne pepper, and hot paprika, and of course salt and pepper to taste. So here we go. I'm going to try to angle you so you can see my cutting, and we'll see how it goes from there. Anyhow, I like to cut my onion in half and leave the little end on because it's a little easier to cut. And then I just go down. It's going to be loud. And cut along those little ridges, so then when I decide to chop, I'm going to end up getting smaller pieces. Make sure that you've got a nice little claw so we don't, chop our fingers off. And then you can really chop the onions however you'd like, because it's chili, it's going to cook for a while. And then I usually just leave that end piece off, but I can cut all the way to the end without having to worry about my fingers, and it breaks up into nice little tiny pieces. Okay, and I'm going to throw those in the pot right away with a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit. I mean just enough to coat the bottom of the pan so the onions don't burn. Mind your spout. If you pour it out the wrong side, you're going to get so much olive oil in your pan, and it's really hard to get it out once you already have your onions in there. I'm going to turn it to medium heat, make sure that it's on the burner, and we're going to move along to our scapes. So I've got scapes right here. They are the top of garlic. They grow out of the ground, and then the farmers harvest them. A lot of farmers actually throw them away. They're very curly, so tricky to cut. Just make sure that you try to dice them small. They're going to cook up in the pan, so that's okay. If you are using garlic, these do have a little bit of a hot garlic flavor. My knife is awful. We're switching knives. So if you don't really like garlic flavor, you just like a hint of it, then I would just use a small amount of these. Here we go. It's a lot easier to cut it on the bias, which means on the angle. So I'm going to use one scape because, like I said, they are pretty intensely flavored, but so delicious. And again, I'm going to throw them in there with the onions, so they are going to cook out and probably take a little bit of sweetness from the onion. Make sure you keep those fingers tucked back. And remember, this guy's a curly Q, so it's going to try to curl right into your way. Scapes are in season right now, so now is the time to go out and get them, and then you won't be able to get them for the rest of the year. So you can buy a bunch and freeze them, which is what I did. Alright, we're taking these And we're going to put them right into the pan so they can get soft. Alright, next we're going to go for the jalapeno. I just used a third of the jalapeno, and I'm going to take out the seeds because I'm going to already be adding the crushed chili peppers. So I don't need all these seeds. So I'm just going to run my knife right along on the inside and just get all those seeds out. So we don't have too much heat. Sometimes jalapeno peppers aren't hot, but sometimes they're super spicy. It helps to cut it with the skin down so the knife can run right through the pepper. If you try to cut through the skin, sometimes the knife slides off the side and can slide right into your finger. And then I'm just going to dice these nice and small. And again, I'm going to throw these right in because they do need to, I want the pepper itself to kind of get a little tender. Get some of the heat started in that pan, get that flavor going. Don't stick your hand in the pan like I did. Then I've got 3 of these medium, schmedium, they're small medium peppers. There's multiple ways to cut them. I like to cut them here and then cut them right in on the pepper, right up against the green. And then we're going to run the knife around the edge of the pepper, cutting right around the center, rolling the piece that's coming out. We're just rolling that and then slowly running our knife along the edge here. Then I've got the whole center out and I don't have to deal with that guy. Again, cut the pepper with the skin against your cutting board. Otherwise, it could slip off. I like my peppers a little bit chunky. You can cut those however you would like. But I like them kind of chunky, so I'm going to cut them like I would maybe for fajitas. Then turn a few at a time. Cut them into chunky 3s. And again, that's going to vary on the size of your pepper. I like them to be somewhere around, I don't know, an inch. But, I mean, that also just depends on your style. And I'm just going to keep popping this stuff in so it can start cooking. And again, you know, we're in a time crunch. But I think we're doing great. That pepper. Whew. Don't stick your face over the pan. It's never a good idea. Especially when there's some spicy stuff in there. Because you're going to inhale it. It's going to make you cough. Alright. Just try to make these nice and uniform. About the same size because that's going to help to have them cook evenly. Although I like to let my chili cook for at least an hour. So we're not going to have the finished product, of course, when I'm done with this cooking video, but you will have the steps and ingredients for a nice, easy chili. Even if you are not a kitchen person. If I can put this together in 10 minutes, I think that you could totally do it even if you had 30 minutes. But again, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's chili. Chili is just a bunch of delicious peppers and onions and garlic and beans and tomatoes. And beef if you want to add it to the mix. And it's all just kind of mushed together, cooked together, so all those flavors just, you know, combine and get all nice and delicious. Make sure that you're stirring so stuff doesn't get burnt to the bottom. Alright, what do we have? Oh, garlic. I've got 2 cloves of garlic here. And the best way to get the skin off which I'm sure a lot of people already know. I'll show you on this guy. Put your garlic down on your cutting board, put your knife on top of it, and just give it a little smack, and that should crack the skin on the garlic, and then it'll peel right off instead of getting all sticky and trying to pull each piece off individually. And then I like to cut it long ways and then turn them all facing the opposite direction, and then I'm going to just do a rough chop on this garlic. I don't want super big pieces, but I kind of just want a rough chop because it's going to cook down. It's going to have time. I was going to chop all this stuff before I showed you the video, or before I started the video, but I thought, no, I can do it in 12 minutes. Alright, so we've got all of that yummy good stuff in the pan. I'm bringing you with me. Here we go. We're looking in the pan. We got a little browning on the bottom of the pan. The garlic's in there. We really only want to cook that. Oh, you can't even see the pan. There we go. You want to cook that just until it's fragrant. I think it's like 30 seconds. Just a little bit of those peppers, the chili flakes. Make sure that your face is not over that pan. And now we're going to dump in our tomatoes. Woo. And just plop them right in, and that should start to cool that pan down. So it'll stop some of the cooking. And then I'm going to throw my beans in. I like to leave the liquid in because I cook my chili for so long. I want a good amount of liquid in there so that everything doesn't get all mushy, you know, and overcooked and burnt to the bottom of the pan. All right, let me see if I can set you somewhere. We're almost out of time. Ooh. All right, you can see me, sort of. I'm just going to take a little bit of this hot paprika, probably like a teaspoon. And then same thing, I like hot, but I'm still only going to do about a half a teaspoon of the red cayenne pepper. And then a teaspoon of cumin. And then I've got those oregano leaves that I got from the garden, and we're just going to rough tear them. Honestly, I would probably cut them, but we're running out of time and I've got some fingernails going on right now, so I'm just going to rough tear them and sprinkle them in. Normally I wouldn't have fingernails because they get in the way of when I'm weightlifting. Ooh, but it looks so lovely. It smells great. It's a hot and spicy oregano. Anyhow, I hope you're getting all this. I know it's super fast. Now I'm just going to do some salt and pepper, and this is just to taste, right? So it's whatever you like. Put as much as you want in there. And you can always add more seasoning or salt and pepper once it's cooked for about an hour. Wait until all that comes together and really gives you what flavor profile you're looking for. Wait, and then in an hour, taste it. If you want to change the flavor, add a little salt and pepper. And voila. That took me 14 minutes and 16 seconds to tell you how to do this chili. Alright, so I'm going to show you what we have. That's the chili. It's going to cook for an hour, and then I'll post the finished product when I have some for dinner tonight. I hope you enjoyed it.